All right. Next slide. Oh, back. Okay. If anyone wants to do Chrome form, please register here. We'll get you signed up. I'll give everyone a brief moment. All right, next slide. Plan development.
We would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on Indigenous land. Moreover, we would like to acknowledge and pay our respects to the Carizo, Comuncudo, Coaltipan, Cado, Concawa, Comanche, Ipanacache, Alamantashana, Picapu, Pico Pueblo, and other American Indian and indigenous people and communities have been or have become a part of these lands and territories in Texas, here on Federal Island.
All right, next slide. First roll call, please fill it out. Oh yeah, if you're representative, if you're not a representative, do not fill it out.
That's why. Yeah. Pardon? Is Tommy not from LA? What do you mean? What? Tommy's in I mean, yeah, Tommy's in the Lockhart legislative things, right? I think so. Is he supposed to be appointed?
Who?
If you're part of like one of the groups, right?
Yeah.
No. Like one of the. Ben, what were you talking about? What do you mean? I don't know what you're asking. I'm confused. Nothing. I was no, never mind. It was
If you have not filled out the attendance form, please fill it out if you're a representative.
Linda? Is it independent? Yeah. My coffee was gone. That's not your coffee. No, my coffee. Oh, your coffee. I pull it back to normal. That's good. That's good. Sorry, I was like, no, you're good.
If you have not filled out the attendance form, please go ahead and do so. If you're a representative, please fill out the attendance form. We're 4 short of a quorum.
This is why we started. Excuse me. Okay, thank you.
If you have not filled out the attendance form, please do so. There are a couple of you who are in here who have not filled it out yet.
Is that including you? Is that including? Everybody celebrating lots of more.
Like 11. I mean, there's certain people on the show. We have.
Yeah.
Because Zoom and couldn't just have someone. Couldn't just have someone do it. Because like the Zoom thing was required next week. That starts. So until then, that's how they have someone do it. It's like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like have someone join even if they're not at home. Have someone join on Zoom.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like never mind. You know what I said? My brain cells are like kind of lost, like my English.
All right, we have a quorum. About time. All right, it is 7:13. We'll go ahead and move forward. Next slide. All right. We're not done with this one. All right, will Representative Cannon please come forward? Oh. Just over here, over here. All right. No speaker has left more of an impact recently than former Speaker Cannon. We have seen him work diligently and masterfully with our rules and legislative process. And the 115th, he was one of the movers and shakers that pursued initiatives aimed at transparency, sustainability, and accountability. He has stepped up after Oscar's resignation as Speaker, and he united the Assembly among a common goal: reform. He had never made a decision alone and has always valued input from others, something I hope to aim for. He was timely and responsive as he was dedicated. No one in the 115th was going to work harder, more than him. Today, I'm happy to extend to him this gavel for his service and dedication to the Assembly as a true guide of the 115th. Thank you so much. All right, next slide. Approve the minutes. Oh, no. The chair recommends a motion. We haven't got there yet. The chair recommends a motion to approve the September 27, 2022 minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, minutes are approved. All right. Skip this. All right. Next up is our special guest here to talk about affordable housing, Ethan Smith.
Hi, how are y'all doing? Cool, I'm good. I graduated during COVID and there were no people in the room. So I graduated like a year and a half ago, 2 school years ago in May. And my last year, I was the Housing Policy Initiative Policy Director and working on housing issues and affordability. And I also wrote a thesis about how UT as an institution makes housing and equity policy. A lot of people have computers out. If you want to check it out, it's at forwardthesis.com. That's kind of the background work for all this. And then the next year, myself, Gerald, and Amanda Garcia, after I was actually graduated, we passed legislation in all 3 branches of student government and at the College Student Commission of the City of Austin related to this. And what it basically says is UT should build housing because we need more of it under the institutional control of UT, and that UT has to do something to make it affordable because they have incentives within their budget, which is why not only housing, but dining is more expensive than it was when I first got here by a pretty significant margin. I'm working on a $5 peanut butter and jelly sandwich over there, so you know, it's a profit center, and to try and understand why is this a profit for them, why are they operating things that way? And one thing has led to another a lot. It kind of just keeps going, which is kind of cool. But basically right now I'm engaged in a effort at the State House to try and get a state law passed that would look at UT's housing and dining budget, which is tremendously profitable. A couple years ago, it made $25 million a year in profit, which per student that lives on campus is $3,400. So if we're doing all these things to try and make college more affordable, like the Texas Advanced Commitment, or maybe you've heard of the Promise Plus, this is a countervailing force from what the Board of Regents is trying to do. So to position this like, hey, Board of Regents, we're trying to do something that's in concert with your goals. And if your tuition is paid for, your single biggest cost of going to college is the cost of housing. Last year, we were also working on a petition. I guess that's in the later slides, so we'll talk about it a little later. And, you know, hope springs eternal. There's always a new group of people, group of stakeholders, situation with the economy. Like interest rates are rising right now, so that can actually be a good thing, because when you talk to the powers that be to say, hey, look, we need to do this now because this isn't going to be feasible in a couple of years, or it might be, but it might not be, and it's better to do it now. So Gerald's going to talk a little about he's got a sore throat, but.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, he does a brilliant job always explaining the affordable housing. I'll just talk more about what the LSO said last year. So last year we heard 2 joint resolutions, which for those of you who are new, is a joint resolution from the government, the Senate College Councils, and Graduate Student Assembly. And within these 2 resolutions, we essentially just called for the university to step up the housing game. It's way too expensive to live on campus. Essentially, and also we need more housing. So that's essentially what these 2 resolutions did. This was the beginning of a conversation. This was never like we didn't want the resolutions to be beginning points, more the starting point for us. And we've been building off of it the whole year. We did some amazing work talking to representatives, senators, and state capitol. And then at a later point, we'll talk about the petitions and where student advocacy groups come in hand and support this effort. Oh, and one last thing, it was pretty much unanimous in the 3 LSOs.
Just a couple slides, I guess. Okay, so these were the sites identified. There's a lot of background information that goes into it, and all the research. I never wanted to be saying like, you know, this is me, Ethan Smith, saying you should do this, that, and the other. Kind of the format of my thesis, which was for the major human dimensions of organizations, was to look at every single time UT has tried to address this problem in the last 25 years, what are the materials that they came up with, put them all together in the same place. So this is from proposed residence halls. This is based off of a map of the 2015 Student Life Master Plan. And one thing that you see over and over again for decades is UT will identify sites for housing, and then they won't get built as housing. They'll get built as a prestige project with a private donor attached, like the medical school or the museum over there. Those were all sites previously identified that, hey, this should be student housing. That's like this. That's the other part of the initiative slide. Okay, this is the housing and dining budget. I did a longitudinal study. It's never been done before because it's very boring, probably. But yeah, until 2006, UT did not try and create a profit in this budget. And since 2007, they've been creating a profit, and it's been getting bigger and bigger. And so when this gets bigger and bigger, that means the cost passed on to students is bigger and bigger. So what I'm trying to do with this proposal is to decouple the profit motive, because having looked at this a lot, I understand why they would want to run a large profit. And rather than trying to fight force against force and say, you guys shouldn't be doing that, say, no, keep running a profit, even you could run a larger profit. We just need to decouple that from cost passed on to students. So what if you were to look at this and say, draw a line at the $5 million a year mark and say anything above that, we're going to collect and we're going to put it into an endowment, and the proceeds of that endowment are going to filter right back to students. That it's going to pay off needs-based tied to your FAFSA scholarships that will offset your housing costs. And that speaks to basic questions of access and affordability right there. That if you get into UT, but you're from a lower socioeconomic background, you don't want to be saying, well, I have free tuition, but it's impossible for me to afford to go here realistically because of the cost of housing. Next slide, please. So then in December 2021, we had a resolution in support of these that passed at the College Student Commission. I worked with Edwin Bautista on that. Is grad student here? Slide. We hosted a forum in March. This took several months to put together. We got several groups to co-sponsor it, and we did a lot of outreach. And then probably only about 30 folks were there. You know, in my head, I was imagining there would be 300 people in this giant room, and that didn't happen. But the vice president of the DPCE, Dr. Smith, did come, which was really awesome. And then I wound up presenting for the executive group, the DPCE, afterwards. And this was kind of, I guess, slide, please. So we were working on this petition, and we wanted a lot of input from a lot of people. Again, didn't want this to be like, this is what I say. And we had put together this forum to try and get greater input on the idea of campus culture, to say that somehow, you know, if people lived on campus, if there were more people on campus spending more time on campus together, that their experience would be better, because there was this kind of vibe going around that not everybody felt welcome here. And it was kind of hard to put a finger on it or to quantify. And none of us felt like we could put those words together. And so we wanted to reach out to everybody. And we didn't wind up coming up with a final draft of the process. And so I would kind of point to the value of having a sustained effort. If you ever want to affect change in anything, you have to be willing to have a sustained effort. And this is our, well, this is a year after me, Amanda, and Gerald, and this is 2 years after I was housing policy, and this is 3 years after I was working on my research. And it's been really rewarding because there's always something to keep me working on the next step. But yeah, this was the first, we decided, we wound up with 3 articles. One was, we need more housing. This was this, and here's all the bullet points. Next slide, please. Then was the piece about increased affordability, that UT can build all the housing they want all day long, but if it's not affordable, you know, if we just kept building 2,400 oases, not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not going to do anything to help affordability. And then slide. And then we had this article regarding campus culture, which never got written. And we went through that stakeholder approach. And I was thinking maybe a new wrinkle this year, based off my advocacy at the State House, that it might be better to talk about the campus culture of living on campus in terms of this has academic benefits. As conservatives that I would talk to over there, they'll say things like, well, you know, housing isn't a part of what a university is supposed to do. A university is only supposed to do academics, and the private market is supposed to take care of housing, when the private market makes things more and more expensive, and there's asymmetrical information. This whole way that West Campus has gotten built has been based around asymmetrical information. So to say, well, look, students who live on campus, even as we've had pretty significant grade inflation over the last couple of decades, we can show statistically that students who live on campus, their retention rate is about 5 points higher. We can show that their GPAs are higher. And to kind of look at it, to kind of make that case and then slide it. And then again, thinking about the state house, you know, think about rural, if you're a representative of a rural county and you're one of these white ones where that means 0 students from your county go to UT, or one of these ones that say only one, why would you care about the University of Texas? You know, your tax dollars go there, and these are the folks that try session after session to say, we need to defund UT, we want more money for our institutions in our neck of the woods, wherever it is. You know, and there are other great universities in Texas as well. And how do you get these people on board if you want something to pass to say, well, look, you have the same incentive. Making it cheaper to go to UT in this way means more people from your district can go here because it's on a cost basis, and rural places are, the median incomes are much lower than in urban or suburban areas. And then also if you have socioeconomically depressed inner city areas, that this would have the same effect for those. So, you know, I wondered many moons ago, you know, these people seem to have the same incentive. Could you actually get them on the same side for an issue? And I've talked to Republicans who said they would support this, not that they would carry the bill, because they don't care about UT, because none of their constituents go there. And I think it's important that there should be a University of Texas, and that we are the University of Texas. We're not just the University of Texas at Austin. We're not just the flagship school of the UT system. We are the flagship school of the state. And the state of Texas cannot, with our personality, our culture as Texas doesn't really permit us to have no university. Which, you know, there's going to be this big fight about tenure, which is probably really great politics for some people, but doesn't necessarily make sense otherwise. I mean, so you've seen what all happened with that. But to say, hey, we want the culture of Texas in UT, and that this is more than just UT Austin, this is UT. And bringing people from across the state would accomplish that. And that this is about removing a barrier. This is about removing a financial barrier to entry. It's not about any kind of balancing between rural and urban or anything like that. It's just, what would it be naturally if you removed all the barriers, all the systemic barriers? Next slide. So this is the proposal as it exists now. Basically touched on these points. Next slide, please. Oh yeah, UT administration. UT is an impenetrable fortress. No matter what you do, you will never have an opportunity to talk to President Hartzell about anything substantive, period. Maybe if you're the president, vice president, and speaker house, but what I heard is he hasn't even had a PSAC meeting yet, and he says, hey, this is working for us, which, you know, I want to be on his good side. I don't want to say that's crass, but I kind of think, you know, if you're the president, you have to look at the students as kind of like your kids. Like if they do something you don't like, they're still your kids. You still have to try and work with them. Not that you can just say, well, we're handling business and making business deals on behalf of the University of Texas without you guys. And I don't think it's really right that you guys haven't met with him more, but you know, you have to be insistent. And the only way I think I would get a chance to talk, and there's several top administrators, it doesn't have to be President Hartzell, it doesn't have to be Vice Provost Wood, it could be Dean Lilly, it could be, I mean, if we look at the list, there's probably 10, 15 people that would be helpful to talk to, but need to talk face to face with them. And need to communicate that this is friendly. This isn't anybody coming around trying to bust them on something, but we're trying to do something together, which hasn't been done. I guess I'm a visionary. No, whatever. Next slide. That's it.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for the speaker? Or President Murphy?
Oh, right. I don't actually, can Zoom hear me?
No.
Or no, okay. Hi, everyone, Leland, President. Ethan, it's always so great to see you. I'm always so appreciative of the work that you're doing. I know you can kind of put it on the last slide about, how SGN works in it and all of us, we can continue supporting you. I was just wondering, have you talked to Alan Cole, because he's currently kind of in charge of affordable housing UC, and if not, can we help you connect with him?
I would love to meet with him. I met with him several times last year. I went down there in this year, talked to his executive assistant, and she remembered me. But then the emails never resulted in me hearing back, and I would love to talk with him,
So we can definitely help you out. That sounds good.
Any other questions?
Please, engagement, please.
Just a quick statement, I'll send, the joint resolutions we passed last assembly, just so if you guys want to read it, you can have like the language and slide.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you. One more thing really quick. I wrote an op-ed in the Daily Texan last week. It's called, "What Can UT Do If the Supreme Court Overturns Affirmative Action?" So check it out if you want.
All right, next up is open forum. Please register. First up on our list is Representative Rogers.
Y'all hear me all right? All right, howdy y'all, I'm Representative Rogers, representative for CNS, and I'm up here today to talk about Austin AISD Proposition C. I don't know if y'all have heard about it, read about it. I would like to read it to y'all. AISD Prop C states that is the issuance of $47,434,000 for school building bonds for the design, construction, rehabilitation, renovation, expansion, improvement, and equipment of stadium facilities in the district, and levying an imposition of taxes sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on the bonds and the costs of any credit agreements. This is a property tax increase. And so what I wanted to talk to you all about today is I'm a little bit conflicted about AISD Prop C because I know AISD has a lot of problems serving students and teachers. And when I first read this proposition, I couldn't believe my eyes. $47 million for stadiums and athletic facilities outside of the existing budget seems absolutely ridiculous at face value. And I started asking around, like, what would people rather have that money spent on? And a lot of people talked about things on the other propositions that weren't completely addressed or fully covered in the $2.5 billion bond. Prop A and the other technology bond, Prop B. So some of the ideas, one that really stood out to me was paying down or assuming the principal of the debt of staff and faculty, student loan debt. For me, I'd much rather see AISD cover that thing. Build a bunch of new stadiums outside of the already allocated funding we have every year for doing that. So anyways, maybe y'all can enlighten me on Proposition C, but it looks like a bad idea. Love to hear your thoughts.
All right, thank you so much. We'll now enter Q&A. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much. Next up is, Representative Pena. No. No, turn it on.
You like click it.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
Yes. Give me a second. Try now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Kevin. Okay, I'm just here, essentially here to talk to you all about voting information. So essentially, if you all have ever voted here on campus, you'll know that we are very accustomed to always having two primary early voting locations, FAC and the PCL. These two locations, everyone knows are very central, they're important. And when you have an election coming up like we do coming November, starting October 24th, we already know the lines are going to get bad here on campus. For the primaries, there was about an hour wait, and we all know primaries are dead. No one voted, unfortunately, no one votes in primaries, and there was already a line. When we voted on Prop A before that, there was 2 3-hour lines at the FAC alone. So recently, the Board of Commissioners voted to remove the PCL as one of our voting locations. So that means we only have the FAC, and they kind of said, oh, we're called consolation prize, we're gonna give you LBJ. Anyone who's an undergrad knows that LBJ is not a practical means for a polling location from West Campus. That's just way too far. If you're on campus, no one ever goes to LBJ unless you are a grad student. To our grad students, that's a great location for y'all. Unfortunately, for the vast majority of undergrads, it's not. So if you all or anyone is interested in helping us lobby the Commissioner's Court, helping us lobby Judge Andy Brown, Councilwoman Tovo, Mayor Adler, whoever will listen to us regarding this issue, because it is a big deal, it is disfranchising voters. And frankly, I bet you anything, if they do not put PCL back, we're going to see 6-hour lines come election day on November 8th. They're going to wrap around the FAC. And what's going to happen? People are going to walk up, they're going to see a 6-hour line going blocks and blocks and blocks, and they're not going to vote. I don't care who you vote for, but obviously this is an issue. So please reach out to me or Leland afterwards if you're interested in helping us advocate to get the PCL back. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the representative? Representative Jadel.
Regularly fine arts. Are we looking to have the LBJ one stand in addition to the PCL?
Yeah, so essentially, what's it called? UT has an incredible amount of registered voters. A lot of these decisions are based on prior turnout, and I will admit, the previous elections we have are low, but the reason they're so low is because the most recent data we have is not from primaries. It's from primary runoffs, which occurred after the school year. By the time runoffs came around, we had these locations in place, and guess what? School was ended. No one was voting at them, obviously, because there were no students here. That's just common sense. We are not in favor of getting rid of LBJ. I think there's never too many locations for voting. But in the end, not trying to get rid of LBJ, but trying to just add PCL.
Any other questions? Vice President Rinsky? Senate?
Brian, I guess I was curious if you happen to know why we only have 2 polling locations to begin with the campus of 50,000 students.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Once again, it goes back to the turnout numbers. Essentially, what the Board of Commission does is they look at all the surrounding regions. They try to compare us to most similar areas. In the end, you cannot possibly compare UT Austin to any other polling location in the entire state of Texas. Like the Vice President said, we're 50,000 students. The amount of people we are registering, I can speak on behalf of an org that has registration. Yesterday, we did 362 people that registered in one day. And every other org is doing the same thing. They are registering more and more people. The simple fact is the Board of Commissioners does not realize this. They don't realize how much excitement and passion there is for this race. So in an ideal world, we'd have more locations. We'd have the PCL back, we'd have co-op, we have Red Gym, and that's what we want. We've been advocating for that the entire semester before. It's just we got hit by this blind side where we've been trying to take 2 steps forward and they just pushed us 1 step back. So Yes.
Just also want to say, Representative Whitting has voter registration form, so if anyone wants to register to vote, please do so now.
Yes.
But are there any other questions? Admin Director James.
Real quick, just in case we are not able to get the PCO, like what efforts are there gonna be to ensure that we can at least push OBJ or push for FAC, like what can we do?
Yeah, so the best thing that we can do is push early voting. Because in the end, you will show up on any day of early voting. It's October 24th through November 4th, 7 to 7. It's dead empty. You can walk in, vote in 10 minutes, tops. But people put it off. Students put it off. Please, if you are voting, vote early. Push your friends to vote early. All of the EDR orgs are going to be out there.
I'm sorry, but the Q&A time has elapsed.
Are there any other questions or motions on the floor? Seeing none, thank you so much. Next up is Representative Getachew.
Hi, it's us again. We just wanted to come up to remind everybody that the C1 Committee on Admissions and Registration will be meeting this Thursday. We are seeking guidance and advice from anybody who has recommendations regarding the admissions process, specifically looking for alternative ways to enter campus.
LLA, congratulations on being admitted. I know you guys have recently just joined UT, so feel free to reach out to us if you guys have to give your advice as first year students. That's it.
Are there any questions for the representatives? Seeing none, all right, thank you so much. Next up is Vice President Agbasi.
Hi, everyone. So know me, I'm the Vice President of Student Government. I'm actually here on behalf of a different organization that's been around for over 100 years. It's actually produced some great student government leaders. The first Latino student by your president, Alejandrino, was actually in this organization, as well as Ami Jane, the student body vice president, 2019. But I just wanted to congratulate one of our fellow student government members, Helen, for getting in. I just want to celebrate her through this open forum. So I have a rose and an invite for you for the initiation. I'm just really proud of you and continuing this lineage of state government leaders in orange jacket.
I wish we had cameras, we don't. Yeah, please. Or not. All right. Are there any questions for the Vice President? No? All right. Thank you so much. Unless there are any other open forum people who have signed it, I think that's everyone. Yeah, there's one more. Representative Hallmark? No? Okay. All right, well then we'll move forward. Next slide. Quote of the week, I believe. Yeah. Quote, too often we enjoy comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought by JFK. Maybe you can take something from that this week. We'll move forward with our appointments. We have a list of appointments today. Just letting y'all know for full disclosure, these next few weeks might be full of appointments. So just be prepared for that. First up, we have our two first-year representatives. I first and foremost want to congratulate them, welcome them here. So I'll give them the opportunity to just come up and briefly kind of, explain themselves, welcome themselves here. So first up is Cosmo Miyahara.
Hello. Hello, my name is Cosmo. I'm a freshman. I'm majoring in physics, and I'm the first year representative. What can I say? So I understand all the roles that, like all the responsibilities I have. I know that first and foremost, I'm the representative of all freshmen. So the priority is to listen to the freshmen's voices. Obviously, I have my own goals. I have different ideas to improve the campus, but it's all about the freshmen. And I hope y'all can contribute to my missions and my goals. Thank you.
All right. Next up is Kevin Nguyen. Is Kevin Nguyen here? All right. Well, then we will go and swear you in. Chief Justice Chalker, are you here?
Can you hear me, Kevin?
All right, we're gonna swear you in. Whenever you're ready, Chief Justice.
All right, repeat after me, Cosmo. I, Cosmo Miyahara,
I, Cosmo Miyahara,
On the microphone.
do solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of first-year representative
the office of first year representative
of the University of Texas at Austin,
of the University of Texas at Austin,
student government,
student government,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the student government.
the Constitution of student government.
Congratulations.
All right, let's start. So now you have all rights of being a representative. You're able to vote and everything. Next up is the SSBC appointee appointed by the president that we will need to confirm. Samiha Rizvi. Whenever you're ready.
Hello. Okay, I'm ready. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Samiha Rizvi. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a fourth year studying social work and public health, and I also have vice president. So your fellow neighbor, sibling. But more importantly, I'm here today as the SSBC appointee. And as you all know, SSBC is such an important committee that provides sustainable funding and funding in general, so many great initiatives on campus. And before I get into more as to why I want to join SSBC, I'd like to talk about some experiences I've actually had with the committee, which have been great. So my sophomore year, I served as the co-director of the Women's Resource Agency in student government. Definitely was a really great experience. And one of my big initiatives as co-director was ensuring that we have free menstrual products on campus. And with the support of Vice President Hung at the time, and the UT Outpost, me and my fellow co-director were able to create a proposal and presentation to SSBC to ask for funding to the UT Outpost specifically so that they could provide free menstrual products. Because at the time, believe it or not, we didn't have free menstrual products there and sustainably. So luckily I was able to go and present to SSBC. And from that experience, we got funding for the project. And this is why UT Outpost is now able to give free menstrual products to students, both to the Outpost, but also their satellite locations, which one exists right there in the GSC. And we have a few around the place. But I want to say that the joy that I was given through the committee to be able to fund an initiative that I cared so dearly about and for the communities that I wanted to serve is something I want to give back to the people of this committee. Some big things I want to work on is ensuring that the MEC and GSC are able to have sustainable funding for a graduate assistant. Ensuring that we get menstrual products in other areas on campus is one other reason. And then working with Vice President Al-Bassi to ensure that institutional knowledge within the space is sustained, because as we know right now, it's not. So those are my really key initiatives at this point. Also increasing funding for LSOs. You all know we don't have enough.
All right, we'll now enter Q&A. Are there any questions for the appointee representative Pena? Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, the speaker will entertain a motion. Representative Whittington, microphone.
Representative Whittington Cola, I move to confirm and appoint Susan to the position of SSPC committee member by unanimous consent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none. you are appointed. All right, next up is, we're not going to do PSOC because the PSOC appointee is not here. So we'll move forward with the next person, which is our policy director appointee, Sean Nazir.
Greetings, Assembly. I can just talk out loud if that works.
No, you have to do it for the.
Hey y'all, greetings Assembly. My name is Sean Cero and I'm a fourth-year biology major that goes by he and pronouns. I stand before you with the honor and privilege of being selected by Leland, Isabel, Izzy, and the rest of the executive branch as a health and wellness policy director. While I spent much of my life in college career with the mindset that advocacy can be frivolous in many ways, especially within institutional framing, I also began to realize how much of my life was dedicated to advocacy. Some background, my brother's autistic. His entire existence has been fighting for inclusion resources that are lacking every step of the way. Sitting in a Title I school district in Northeast Texas, resources for disabled students are severely lacking. Because I was a nursing student in high school, I thought, why not assist the very people that supported my brother and family through public education, with what expanding medical knowledge I have. This led me to join the 2-person team of our life skills course during my time in high school. I began to let these same students and their families into the disability camp, Public Circle Friends Camp, which is where I founded Bill Community for almost 6 years now. Because of such similarities, I also assist when possible at Camp here in Central Texas. I find myself wishing to do more within these spaces, but a common theme between those with disabilities, parents of those with disabilities, and workers who have devoted their entire lives serving those with disabilities is that those who do not have titles or professional degrees are simply not heard within their school districts. This is why I'm pursuing medical school. I can be a vector between institutions and individuals, as well as a pathway to understand medical literature that is so desperately needed by those with disabilities. I believe this mentality also applies as a policy director, as somebody with positionality who can serve as a bridge between ground workers and the university. I believe my village of life experience with LSO spaces, the continued effort of working with those who do the groundwork brings perspective to the advocacy team that focuses policy more on who is doing the work. I'm excited to work with my team and make some meaningful differences here at UT. So far, I've taken lead policy director position initiatives such as accessibility training modules and increased funding for mental health services. But some personal ambitions are to increase campus accessibility, potentially more benches in key areas.
I'm sorry, but the speaker's not stopped.
Are there any other questions? Representative Pena?
Do you mind just finishing your?
Yeah, just the one. I said that some personal ambitions are to increase accessibility on campus, potentially with more benches in key areas because we're very lacking.
Can you talk to the microphone?
Because of the fact that we're lacking with benches, I kind of want to increase funding for that and just make sure that campus is more feasible to navigate.
Are there any other questions? See, Representative Holman?
Rep. Holman, UI. I'm not sure if this is something that would fall underneath your branch of like advocacy within the executive branch, but I do know there have been like existing efforts to try to like fix some of the doors, because I know like sometimes the direction to the button for it to like open just a word. Is that like something you're working on? Or
Yeah, so well, I would say that that's going to be me having to ask the necessary committees and student government organizations that have done the groundwork with that, because that's not my expertise, is specifically what accessibility should be used on campus. But my position is to make sure that those people have a voice and are heard.
Any other questions? Seeing none, the speaker will reclaim the remainder of the time and entertain any motion. Representative Tristan.
Tristan White, I move to confirm and appoint Sean Nazir to the position of policy director by unanimous consent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any objections? Seeing none? You are appointed. All right, next up is Policy Director appointee Madison Bale.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Yes?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you so much. So my name is Madison Fail. I am a sophomore government major, and I'm here today to be appointed, hopefully, to the position of Civic Engagement Policy Director. So I have 3 years of experience in community advocacy work, including a successful campaign in my hometown to mandate masks in my high school during the first year of the pandemic. And on campus, I've also organized multiple reproductive rights protests and co-founded a reproductive rights student organization, unofficial. We're actually looking for people to help with projects. So if you're interested, please Slack me. Moving on. Some of my goals as policy director include a sustainability summit, which will uplift and celebrate the work of sustainability organizations and advocates on campus, as well as give them an avenue, to speak with administrative officials. So far, I've spoken with the NET Project, BEVO, and SFCC. They're on board with the project, and so hopefully we can move forward with that in April. Additionally, I really just want this to be an opportunity for student government to uplift the voices of student advocates. Any initiative or project that I work on will be at the advice and discretion of the stakeholders. Some of my other goals include to increase transportation accessibility, especially in Riverside. This is not a project I've started working on yet, but I will be reaching out to stakeholders soon. And I'd also like to increase communication and cooperation between Senate and student government, which I can do through my policy drafting coordinator position in the Senate as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for the appointee? Seeing none, the speaker will reclaim the remainder of the time and entertain a motion. Representative Bailey.
Representative Bailey, I move to confirm and appoint Madison Bell to the position of policy director by unanimous consent.
Is there a second? Second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, you are appointed. And finally, we also have our final policy director appointee for today, appointee Guna Mukala.
Hi everyone, my name is Swetchivitz Mukala, and I have been appointed by this year's executive board to serve as Health and Wellness Policy Co-Director. I am a second-year neuroscience major receiving a minor in disability studies. I want to share a little bit of my personal experiences with community involvement. Last year, I served as a long-term legislative aide, and our fall service project included raising money to purchase and make blankets, which we later donated to Mega 6. This semester, I've been able to volunteer at Mega 6 during their weekly distributions, and I have witnessed how a lack of access to essential resources like food, healthcare, housing, transportation, and safety resources act as barriers to success in our community. These factors also carry over to students at our university. During the pandemic, I volunteered as a contact tracer with Bell Medical School. Through this role, I realized the shortcomings of our university in supporting students during a great time of need. As the Health and Wellness Policy Co-Director, I hope to address barriers to success at our university. To me, this position is an opportunity to advocate for underrepresented voices on campus by addressing critical domains from mental health, interpersonal violence prevention, accessibility, and food insecurity. And I hope to advocate for diverse populations of students to succeed. I've already gotten a chance to work on this. Most recently, I've collaborated with Vice President Isabel, Financial Director Ryan, and his team on the College Food Access Grant in order to bolster student government's community food distributions and directly increase food access to community members in a convenient and accessible location. Through my role, my year-long emphasis will be on serving my community, on advocacy informed by collaboration, intentional outreach to organizers, and transparency. I'm honored to be chosen for this position, and I can't wait to work with all of you guys.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for the appointee? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion. Representative Sinnathamby.
Representative Sinnathamby, College of Natural Sciences. I move to confirm and appoint Switchagood McCullough to the position of Health and Wellness Policy Director by unanimous consent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, you are appointed. Will all appointees stand so we can swear you in? Chief Justice, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So there's gonna be 2 points because if you guys are doing all this at the same time, at the beginning when I say I blank, insert your name, and when I say office of, insert your office, if that's cool. Okay. I or put your name in after. Do solemnly swear
Solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of
the office of the Student Government Budget
of the University of Texas at Austin,
of the University of Texas at Austin,
Student Government,
the government,
and will to the best of my ability
will to the best of my abilities
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the Student Government.
the Constitution of the Student Government.
Congratulations, y'all.
All right, next slide. Congratulations to you all. Next up is representative reports. Is Representative Sanchez here? All right, Representative Banhara. All right, and Representative Hayes, which is on Zoom.
Hi there. Hey, y'all. So mostly what I've been working on right now is with the Undergraduate Architecture Student Council. We had a sort of an action plan meeting with the student community last week where we discussed a few key points concerning the increasing inaffordability of architecture school. Students are spending hundreds of dollars a semester on digital subscriptions, hundreds of dollars on model materials, and then a different studio professor could cost some students hundreds of dollars more than another professor because of digital requirements or production requirements or plotting expectations. So it's become a significant problem, and the faculty has largely ignored our requests for more transparency about cost. So we had a really productive, helpful meeting with the student community. We all came up with a bunch of ideas. And then this week, we have a few meetings planned with the academic coordinating committee to discuss studio cost estimates. So students know how much they're going to be expected to pay before they select a studio, as well as meeting with the co-op with the hope of bringing back a student discount for architecture and art supplies for all architecture and art students, because the co-op has continually deprioritized their art section, which is now, since ASL's closed, the only option for students on campus. The next closest is Jerry's in North Austin. So that's what we're working on. It's going really well. There's a bunch of great folks on the UISC team, and the student community is really involved and invested in what we're doing. And the administration seems open to it. The faculty may be a little less so, but it's going well. It's exciting. And that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, next slide is unfinished business. We'll take up AR 12 in support of the creation of a non-traditional student center. Will the authors and sponsors please come forward?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lacey Levy. I'm the president of New Wave Longhorns, which is the non-traditional student org. I'm here again this week to talk about AR 12. I gave my spiel last week, and I also spoke at the committee. So I think that most of you are up to date on what this is. Non-traditional students, these are students that are over 25 years old, their parents, veterans, financially independent. We exist here on campus as undergraduates, and it is an extremely isolating experience. So the organization New Wave does as much as we can to help that. We have help through the Transfer Year Experience Office as well, but having this non-traditional student center will be a huge leap forward for us. It'll help us start moving towards actual programming that includes non-traditional students, which it's just not, it doesn't exist on this campus. So this legislation, if you vote for this, expresses your support for this non-traditional student center. It'll be kid-friendly, so that student parents can come and study with their kid. It'll connect us to resources that aren't available, that will become available. And it allows us to find and support each other, because most of the time we're just trying to blend in. So we have a lot of evidence that this works. We have a lot of support from administration, from students. We've included a handful of new sponsors on top of the 50 some that were on it last week. And I have Leland here to also help support. And I really want to thank you all, because all the feedback you guys have given me so far has been super positive and motivating for me to keep going. So thank you. Yeah.
And then, of course, once hopefully this passes the assembly, if any of y'all are interested in the implementation side, working with the two of us and the rest of the others as part of this group on making sure this is seen through, just shoot me a text and we'll all connect.
With that,
All right, thank you so much. Going through the Q&A period, are there any questions for the authors and sponsors? Representative Sinathambi.
Representative Sinathambi, College of Natural Sciences. I was just wondering, do you guys have an idea of where the center would be located on campus?
yeah, so this question was asked last time, and I actually went to some admin and said, like, so how do I pick a place? And they said, haha. So like I have some places in mind which are all centrally located, like this building, the FAC where we currently operate out of. And the main thing, like if I don't get to choose a place, the main thing is that it has to be centrally located, because this has been attempted before and space was allocated where it was not actually accessible if you're a undergraduate student. So centrally located is the main thing. Any other questions?
Representative Rogers.
Representative Rogers, Stevens. So centrally located got me thinking of, would it be better to put it near a parking area? I was just thinking to get the kids to the building, you would probably want it near a bus stop or something, which might make it less centrally located. But I don't know what's, maybe you can help me with what's centrally located.
Centrally located, I mean, to me, it means off of Speedway, and that's been my experience as a CNS student. So, I mean, that would definitely be something that we could talk to other colleges and find out where centrally located means to them. I think parking garages might get tough because the parking garages are spread far and across every corner of campus. And we have a mix of students that, you know, commute in, a lot of us do, but also ones that live close by walk in. So, and take bus, yeah.
Any other questions? Representative Benya.
Yeah, so you mentioned going to admin and trying to kind of sort things out. Could you elaborate any more on as to how that went?
Oh, so for me, this is, I'm referring to the Transfer Year Experience Office. This is where our biggest champions are. They have been like really supportive in helping me understand how the larger administration at DC works. And does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Other questions? Representative Holman?
Rep. Holman, EY. Outside of passing this legislation, what are the biggest things that should do that helps?
Okay, so the first thing is, just be aware that non-traditional students are here and that it's a very normal thing to not know what you want to do when you're 18 and go back to school later. That goes a long way. After that, I am gonna work with you all on getting access to the bigwigs on campus. I already have my pitch deck ready and I just want to let them know that like this is a good plan. So any ideas that you have there, you can contact me and yeah, that'd be really helpful.
Any other questions? Seeing none, the speaker will reclaim the remainder of the time and will recommend a motion. Representative Holman.
Rep. Holman, EY, and the previous question by unanimous. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Student affairs, is there any committee updates to the bill?
Oh, no.
Representative Holman.
Rep. Holman, EY, and I move the previous question by the unanimous consent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any objections? Seeing none. Representative Holman.
Rep. Holman, EY, I move to approve AR 12 and support the creation of a non-traditional student center by unanimous consent.
Any seconds? Any objections? Seeing none. All right, next slide. All right, next up is AB 6, amending the SG election code and constitution to enact the SG Reform Act of 2022. Before we get started, I'll let the chair give a summary of any edits made.
Hi, everyone. So our PC rules and procedures now, we met on Sunday to discuss AB 6.
No, yeah.
Yeah, anyways, it was actually a very long week, we met briefly and we all liked the bill passed unanimously, no amendments, and we encourage its passage through second reading.
Okay, the chair will recommend a 45-second recess, A, so he can preside, and B, I can talk back really quickly. So the chair recommends that. Is there a second? Is there any objections? Seeing none, 45 seconds.
I think it's, it might be. I think it's just having it. I think, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's your. I think that, yeah.
Oh, this thing.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't touch you.
No, I think the type of being secondary, but like points of orders, points of like parliamentary inquiry, and then personal privilege.
Oh. The recess period has expired. Everyone, please take your seat. All right, will the authors of AB 6 come to the front? And with that, we'll begin a 3-minute period for author summaries.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. This is a good bill. I'm not going to be here all night. We talked about this last week. If you have any questions, now, no one reached out to me, so I guess there are no questions.
Other than that, the students and parent has looked it over, and so we are going to be voting on it tonight, which is exciting. I believe we will have an amendment just to heads up, but yeah, we're open to any questions.
The speaker will reclaim the remainder of the time. With that, we'll enter a 5-minute Q&A period. Are there any questions? Representative Pena.
Yeah, I know, Representative Roberts, you were mentioning last week regarding the whole, canvassing or polling outside an actual polling location. Could you all, either one of you all elaborate on what exactly is in the bill to address that situation?
Like polling.
For like campaigning and then lots of people, SG.
Yeah. So I believe that if anyone was, campaigning within that designated area, there would be a punishment at the discretion of the board or ESD, whoever's given the jurisdiction when they try to review election code. Yeah, there will be a punishment, whether that be a fine, moratorium, whatever the board wants.
So that is the discretion of the ESD.
Yes, I believe so, yes. Or in the bill, it will state, I don't have any.
Any other questions? Seeing none, the speaker will reclaim the remainder of the time. Are there any motions, amendments, etc.?
I would bring, I call it.
Okay.
I put in the assembly. Slack is a minor technical amendment, just from moving the entertainment and events and the board of directors from being notified of this passage. I move.
Well, are there any questions on the amendment? Are there any motions? Can you please state your position in just for the minutes?
Representative Roberts, College, University line, move to approve the amendment.
Any seconds?
Second.
Any objections? So ordered. Are there any motions? Representative Whittington. State your name and position.
Representative Whittington, Colorado, rise motion for discussion.
By what vote type?
Yeah, consent.
Are there any seconds? Any objections?
One small other amendment, like really small.
Hold on one second. Can you put a minute timer? Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, yeah.
And can you email that to me and or put in the Slack?
You said that amendment in writing?
About it.
You can reset it. Remember, yeah.
Really fine. It's literally one word we're trying to change.
Yeah, ready.
Speaker pro tem.
You ready?
You have to.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, you need to pull it up.
Can you send the Slack?
Motion to recess for 30 seconds.
That's not necessary.
Okay, I can put them in. Okay, there's a really small amendment on the ex post facto, which just essentially says that like anyone who commits an offense prior cannot be punished for it. It's just, we're striking out only because it just is double negative. We'll just get rid of only. That's all. Minor change.
The speaker will claim the remainder of the time. Are there any questions on the amendment? None. Okay, the speaker will, reclaim the remainder of the Q&A. Are there any motions? Representative Roberts.
University wide, move to adopt the amendment by unanimous consent.
Are there any seconds? Any objections? None so ordered. Are there any motions?
Motion.
Representative Whittington.
Representative Whittington, call the motion for previous question.
What vote type?
Unanimous consent.
Any seconds? Any objections? Okay, any final motions? Representative Tristan.
Tristan, move to approve 86 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? None? Congratulations.
All right. All right, ex officio reports. I would love to turn it over to the Longhorn Legislative Aides.
Hi, everyone. I'm CJ. I'm one of the co-directors for LLA. We're going to have the LLAs introduce themselves. They're going to see their name, major, and an area of advocacy that they're interested in.
Hi, oh my God, sorry. Hi, I'm Saley. I'm the other co-director. We're super excited to work with y'all. We're super excited to look into this relationship. So thank you for having us today.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all, I'm Will. I'm an environmental science major, and I'm interested in environmental advocacy, specifically with the Waller Creek watershed. Seems interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella. I'm a government major and hopefully I'll also be double majoring in economics by next semester. Something that really I'm passionate about is equal opportunity for education. So thank you so much.
Hi guys, I'm Shivangi. I'm a government major and I'm passionate about increased student involvement in education reform.
Hi, I'm Seth. I'm a government major and I'm interested in pursuing voter education and preparation.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm a government major and I'm really interested in healthcare advocacy.
Hi, I'm Varsha, and I'm a business undecided major, and I'm really interested in sustainability.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm a psychology major and I'm interested in increasing equity for legal representation for everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Presley Harrison. I'm a government major and I'm interested in advocating for victims of sexual abuse, specifically sex trafficking.
Hi all, my name is Rashid. I'm a neuroscience major in applied math. I'm just interested in health inequality across for Texas and the United States.
Hi, I'm Farhan. I'm a government major and I'm interested in energy policy and international relations.
Hi, I'm Oliver. I'm a government major and I'm interested in education and access.
Hey guys, I'm Jeremy. I'm a double major in government and Plan 2, and I'm interested in student voter turnout.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. I'm a government major and I'm interested in equity and inclusion for first generation students, specifically in education.
Hi everyone, my name is Kashish. I'm a neuroscience major and I'm applying math, and I'm interested in healthcare advocacy and policy.
Hello everyone, my name is Hayden Busher and I am a government major. I'm interested in pursuing campus affordability for students as well as improving student life on campus.
Hi guys, I'm Grayson Oliver. I'm an international relations and global studies major, and I'm passionate about LGBT rights and ensuring that survivors of rape and sexual violence get the resources they need.
Hi, my name is Logan. I'm a journalism major. I am interested in transparency from all of our institutions and also public education.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm a Planning English major and I'm interested in sustainability, specifically food sustainability.
Thank you so much. And we're so excited to have y'all here. Hopefully you will get paired with a great representative and with a great exec member. So we'll move forward. Next slide. Well, actually, hold on. Are there any other ex officio members that I missed? Anyone on any committees? This would be a great spot to do that too. Okay, next slide. Office of the Dean of Students report. Marcus, do you have anything you want to say?
Good evening. No report from me, but happy to be here.
No worries. Next slide. Executive board reports. To our advocacy director.
Hi everyone, I'm Izzy. I'm the advocacy director. So for my updates, if everybody can scan the QR code that's in the middle on the right. I put this up here last week, but I didn't get any responses. So if anyone wants to say something about it, it's the campus physical safety resources that I compiled, but I know you guys know more. I know it. There's something I've missed. So reach out to me and tell me what I've missed. But I met with the Associate Director of Transportation and then the Sherlock Program Manager, and there are notes in the AD drive on the Google form, and they have a lot of good input for how we can work with Sherlock to improve and expand the program. So upcoming will be ideas for that and working on implementation. But if you want to get involved, reach out. I also met with Blood Brigade kind of unexpectedly, but we're trying to plan an internal blood drive. So just if you are interested in donating blood, please keep that in mind. That'll be December. I think they're thinking December 13th, but I'll get you like details on that soon, but like have that end of semester date in mind for giving your blood. I also am going to have a meeting with the Women in Engineering Program Coordinator and then the Director of the Texas Engineering Diversity and Engagement Program. And this is coming up Wednesday, so tomorrow. I haven't heard a time from them, which is a little exciting, but as soon as I get that, I'll send it to everyone so you guys can join it. It'll be on the GCAL. And that's just about like retention programming. And then I'm awaiting meeting minutes for a few other things, so I'll let you know when I have those. And then
On the right, the top is the initiatives master list. So anything that I'm not working on myself, which you heard from some of the policy directors, we have like a lot going on. So anything that they are working on will be in there. So you're always welcome to like hop on a meeting or like ask about what's going on or like all the things. Also, the last thing is we still are recruiting for some policy directors, like that was some of them, but there should be more. So that recruitment, like interest form will close October 9th, which is like this upcoming Sunday. So if you know of anyone who might be interested in the role, just share that form with them, and the QR is on the bottom right. Just share that form with them, get them to fill it out. We have a good amount of responses, but it never hurts to have more. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you so much. Next up is our communications director.
Hey, I'm Carrie, for those who don't know me. So for our updates from the comms team, if you want to see everything outlined that we're posting in the next week or so, check our content calendar. We have some Hispanic Heritage Month highlights that are still going out. Hispanic Heritage Month, I believe, ends on the 15th, so we still have a couple more left. We're also doing kind of a cute little Texas OU promo post. That's really cute. I'm very excited for that to go out this Saturday, obviously, for the game. We also are promoting the Business Empowerment Initiative at the co-op. That post is going live on Friday. And then the following week, we're also posting, I forgot to put this on here, the community food distribution, which will be this upcoming Friday, not next Friday, sorry. Biggest update is going to be about the website. So my team met with the LSO advisors, and as you all probably know, the SU website has been left not updated pretty much since the end of the last administration, which has been quite a while. So it's quite a hefty project because I have to basically build a whole website from scratch, which means I will need help, especially getting information about the legislative branch because I'm not in the legislative branch. And I want to make sure that we put stuff on the website that y'all want to see on there. So this is mostly to the Assembly Board. I'll be reaching out to y'all about like more information about your committees and whatnot, and your positions, and just like general advisory about what to include on the website and drafting that verbiage to put on the website, pictures and whatnot. So please be on the lookout for that communication from myself or my web developer, Isaiah. And also reminder graphics request 7 days in advance minimum. More than 7 days, always preferable. So, and then my song of the week is by Cass Elliott because she just got a posthumous star on the Walk of Fame, which is really cool. So that's me. Thanks.
All right, next up is our admin director.
Hello all, I'm the admin director, y'all don't know, Zion, like a lion, a Zion. I meant to update that, but over 50 plus, it's supposed to be like 168. 174 people registered to vote. Thank you so much for all those who came out and registered to vote. Thank you for those who volunteered and for those who gave us resources. We really appreciate it. Just to update y'all on who's having meetings this week. Disabilities Inclusion, it had their meeting this past Sunday. International students had their meeting this past Monday. DBA is having their meeting tomorrow at 8 p.m. QTSA is having their meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. WRA is meeting Thursday at 5 p.m. Additionally, we're gonna have another social. I expect to see all of you there. It's Halloween movie night, so I hope y'all are ready for a good Halloween movie. I'm pushing for Halloween Town, but others may not like that. It's okay. The social calendar is right there, of course, so you can always look on there to see who's having a meeting, who's having a social, etc., etc. Most definitely stream Love Drive by Beyonce because that's how I'm feeling. I'll lean back in my chair because that's what she did. Additionally, OU still sucks. I see that there hasn't been a good morale for the game, so that's what we need. Additionally, make sure you look over my back for Hispanic Heritage Month. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time. I would forget to, read my Hispanic Heritage Month.
All right. Next up is our financial director.
Hi, before I bring you else at me, we'll make this quick. Congratulations again, Representative Yahara, on your first year rep position, along with our LLAs and Helen on making it to OJs. You guys went through like some of the toughest application processes on this campus. So again, as we held after, congratulations to all of our policy directors and we have, as always, we're working towards, making sure that we're, doing a lot of working together with the other LSOs. And on that note, I'm going a bit out of order. Senate's WCP scholarship is out. You guys can apply, so please do that, but please also promote it. The scholarship criteria is just to the right. We actually share a lot of those with our carry-on scholarship. Please also promote that. First years you cannot apply, sorry. And then the only difference is that ours takes overall GPA, while theirs takes community involvement as a criteria. Quick staff updates. So the grant that I've been talking about for like 4 weeks is finally in. If you the sweat judge spent 4 hours on that to help me get it through. We'll be visiting a bunch of diverse boards this week to promote the carry-on scholarship. Our goal is 1,000 applications being out. The former financial records record breaking of 800 applications, and we are currently on track. Some other announcements are on there. I'll talk more about them next week. All graduating seniors in both branches, please come talk to me right after this assembly meeting. I have an important announcement just for you guys. And finally, special projects were released. I'm going to show you on that email. If you guys really want a Slack message, I'll send that out as well. Just reach out to me in advance or it's ready to go. Thank you.
Next up is Chief of Staff, Patrick.
Okay, welcome LLA, who I did an interview. My name is Patrick, I'm the Chief of Staff. It's great to see you today. Just very brief updates. This last Sunday, we had, I think it's about our 3rd or 4th leadership team meeting. As you know, I lead those. And it's always great hearing updates from our agencies and for them to just talk to us about the initiatives and events they have coming up. Secondly, I finally got a response back from the Voices Against Violence. We're going to be setting up a workshop with either our LT or our IOGM meetings. It'll be one of those, whichever they kind of just works best. And I'm also going to be setting up a meeting with Alpha. She is associated with Violence Against Voices, and our advocacy director, Richard, to discuss future initiatives and how SG can further assist collab BAV. Also, we just want to plug my office hours and schedule. Please refer to these. Last 2 weeks have just been very, very hectic for me. So if you don't get a response from me, it's because I'm either at work or in class or doing other SG meetings. So just please refer to that. Still text me and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. And then just for the sake of transparency, there has been an office change. My deputy chief of staff has withdrawn from the university, so he will be stepping down from the deputy chief of staff position. So I will be moving forward with looking for a replacement, hopefully soon. I really want to ensure that we get someone who is well qualified to fulfill that position very, very fast. And then on a lighter note, I just want to plug this meme. I thought it was funny. So if y'all don't know, Dua Lipa is apparently dating Trevor Noah. I have the biggest crush on Trevor Noah. And Dua Lipa, sorry. And I just think I'm funnier than Trevor Noah, and so I just thought this meme was really fun.
All right, Vice President Isosi.
Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Vice President. I'm a public health major with a minor in healthcare reform. For all those who are interested in healthcare reform and advocacy, definitely pick me to be your mentor. Anyway, going into the highlights, we met with the co-op and we finally finalized the Student Business Empowerment Initiative timeline. So we'll have a post out by this Friday. It'll be open for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna have a whole ribbon cutting ceremony. So if you know any student entrepreneurs, this is a really good opportunity for them to have like shelf space in the co-op, and almost all the profit from that goes straight to the student. So it's a really, really good initiative we want to keep moving forward with. We also met with the Campus Environmental Center Green Event about compostable products and how student government can ensure that we're amplifying the work that they're doing. And so we talked about administrative advocacy, potential special projects or SSBC proposal, and then just amplifying what they put out on their social media. We're establishing standing meetings with the Title IX office and the Vice President of Diversity and Community Engagement. And lastly, we're still trying to fill some missing seats, including UTPD oversight, the ESP selection committee, the Student E-Small Advisory Task Force, and the CMHC Student Advisory Committee. So if you are interested, reach out to Leela and I. We're going to be kind of gauging interest on who should fill those seats, and then we'll interview and all that stuff. on the horizon. We're collaborating with the UTSG on voter registration. We're beating them right now. Hopefully we continue to beat them at voter registration and at the game. And just continuing forward with our outpost collaboration. Again, this month's gonna be focused on collaboration posts. So if anyone wants to be a part of that and help to increase awareness for the resources there, reach out to us. And yeah, office update. My office is really cute. Everyone should come look at it. Thank you.
President Murphy.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. It's great to be back. First off, just shout out again, our Longhorn legislative aide. Super excited to have y'all. Our first representatives, and then of course, our appointees who all got confirmed tonight. This is not on my updates, but I just want to plug this. I've been plugging it to everyone. The SG Senate office, which is just right down the hallway on the other side of the SAC, it's a space for everyone. So please come in there, bring your friends. It's an open office, and we really want it to be y'all's space. Whether you're doing SG work, whether you're just chilling there with friends. Please come by. My office is also open in there. So yeah, that was an informal update. But kind of moving into the more formal stuff is, as well kind of mentioned, where I'm currently finalizing the form to collect these student entrepreneurship submissions. So all that finalized before the post goes out. Our first internal President Student Advisory Committee. So again, for all our new people, the President Student Advisory Committee, we haven't met yet, but that's a committee that meets with President Hartzell and then Dean Lilly and possible other big admin on campus monthly. So just the representatives who are from SG, Senate College Councils, and then the Graduate Student Assembly. We're having just like our internal membership meeting tomorrow, just so we can start mapping out some of our strategic advocacy goals. So that'll be happening tomorrow in the office conference room from 3:30 to 4:30. Our next community food distribution will be next Friday, as mentioned with Senate, and they'll also be passing out some academic resources as well. So if you're interested in helping out, please sign up for that. It should be going out, if not the end of this week, then by the beginning of next week. So sign up to table and help give out food to students. Texas X is meeting yesterday, and we're helping them with some Texas Fight Rally stuff. That's open to anyone to come to the Texas Fight Rally. I think we're gonna be doing some sort of like student government walking the parade, and that's open to any reps or executive branch. So just text Isabel and I if you're interested in walking. And then also potentially we're still confirming with them about potentially having like another voting promo, so like in their script through the Texas X's for the Texas Fight Rally for Texas OU weekend. We're hoping to have them Texas X's sonic voter registration and possibly also have put the vote out there tabling and essentially getting a lot of students registered before the midterm deadline of October 11th. Additionally, this is more of an internal update, but reps are always welcome to come. We'll be starting our recruitment reflection ad hoc tomorrow night in the conference room, 8:30 to 9:30. So just talking about our new member recruitment, how it went, new members, LLA. Y'all are also please y'all went through the process, so we're interested in getting that feedback. So then prepare the next administration to just keep building upon the process. And then I also sat in on the votes agency meeting today and kind of talked about what Representative Pena had mentioned earlier about pushing for more full-in locations or changing back to having the PCL as locations. So we're kind of working on that. And then also the Texas Fight Rally voter registration. And then again, for new people, my number is there. Please text me, don't be shy. I respond an ungodly amount of time to text messages. So yeah, thank you all so much. And I hope everyone has a great night.
All right, Assembly Board reports. Speaker Pro Tem Corey Holman.
All right, hello everyone. First, hello LLAs. I was a former LLA myself 2 years ago, so it's always nice to see new faces here. I don't have any major updates regarding my committee, but I do have some words of advice or wisdom or whatever you will. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Midterms are coming up and they're always no joke, so it's okay to just take a night, sleep in, do some self-care, and if you'd like to rant, I'm a great listener, I've been told, so feel free to reach out. Literally never, like Leland, I respond, actually I'm not sure if it's like Leland, but I respond pretty quickly. So anyways, feel free to reach out for me.
Thank you for your words of wisdom. Academic Affairs, Chair.
Yeah, so I'll keep it really brief. For everyone in my committee, make sure you turn on Slack notifications. I dropped a link to meet earlier today, so fill that out so we can schedule our next meeting. And then we'll hopefully have the justice minor, and then we can discuss other initiatives.
Okay, next up, As this oversight.
Hi, you want to know who you are in this morning's meetings, be here to meet with us. An oversight committee next Tuesday from 4 to 5. Thanks.
All right. Financial affairs.
Can you refresh it, Kevin?
1 second.
Thanks. How is everyone on this wonderful evening? Great? Super.
Doing good? Everyone doing good? Doing good? Looks like everyone's doing fine. Yep, good. All right. Awesome.
Okay, wonderful. Hey everyone, sorry I'm not there. First thing, FAC members, our new standing meeting time is Wednesdays at 6 p.m. You should have gotten a GCal invite. I know some of you said you can't make that time, but it's just what works for most people. So just communicate that to me. If you can't make it, we'll figure something out. Special projects application is open. Ryan already talked about that, so I'm not gonna like go on. But also I sent in the general Slack just now results from the Make Assembly short survey that I sent out. We only got 41 responses, so if you didn't respond, sucks. But basically, I would say the key takeaway is that most people are in support of some measure that shortens exec reports. Whether or not I proceed with a formal bill, I'll talk to the people that wanted to sponsor this with me and we'll come up with something. And on another note, me and Reese Klassen and Reese Fearman met earlier this week as the business caucus to discuss some initiatives that we might have that are Macomb specific. So that's just kind of my update. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next up is governmental affairs. Chair Pena.
Yeah, hello. So governmental affairs, in general, things that we're doing, Texas Ledge. So if anyone, especially LAs or whoever, if you are interested in anything with the Texas Ledge related, please let me know. Essentially, we can do pass legislation here and not lobby, but advocate for it very strongly when it comes to the next semester when the ledge comes back to second. Parking and transportation committee. I am a member of that. If anyone, if any LAs or anybody is interested in parking, any of that policy, please let me know. There's only about 6 voting members on that board. I am one of them along with 2 other students. So please, we can actually get genuine things done. We already got a little progress done earlier. Thanks to Ben as well. So please reach out to our parking policy. Once again, voting stuff. Me and Brett Palmanek are working on RA bill regarding voters. So yeah, if you're interested in voting whatsoever, please let me know. Thank you.
All right, next up, student affairs.
Not many updates. We passed AR12. Congratulations, Lacey. Also, congratulations to everyone who has been recently appointed and confirmed, as well as LLA. Quote of the week, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't stop for now and live the rest of your life as a champion by Muhammad Ali. Given that midterms are coming up, I feel like we should all take this to heart. That's it.
All right. Oh, my turn. I thought it was someone else. Okay. I have quite a few updates, but I'll try to be as brief as possible. First, it's now Halloween season, so I put a bunch of scary movies. If you are into scary movies, there are a bunch. Please look at them. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. So watch at your own leisure. Updates with governing documents. I met with DOS regarding the governing documents on Monday. I continue to ask for clear guidelines as it relates to university issues and standards. I'm hearing that they are working on a new chapter institutional policy that will kind of clarify this. I don't know when that will be out, but I will continue to get feedback once I know more. Follow us on social media. I will continue to say that. LAs, please follow us on social media. Follow us. We follow you back. Follow us. Yeah, back to general updates. Welcome to our new first year representatives, LLAs. Happy to have you all here. I met with UTPD to talk about the emergency alert notifications, and I will also be reaching out to APD regarding this matter, so we can get a clear idea of how that system works and how we can improve it to ensure that students are aware of missing persons and any other incidents that go on. Rosa and I are meeting with Dr. Gerard on Thursday to talk about new attendance standards. We're also in the beginning stages of a new legislative accountability package, which will cover a host of incentives to representatives, as well as accountability measures going forward to make sure that we are putting ourselves on a high pedestal. So more on that soon. Probably we'll be having a lot more closer towards the end of October. Yes, nationally, I'm working on an initiative with a few other schools to inform students about how to apply for student loan debt aid as that becomes available this month. So more on that soon. And then, as you all know, we have a new attendance policy that will go in effect on October 18th. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to your committee chair. If you have any accommodations or any exceptions, please reach out to Chair Tristan, which will make sure we get that sorted. It's very important that y'all are aware of that, so I want to make sure you are all aware that that will take place, not next meeting on Tuesday, but the meeting after that. So those are all the updates I have. I have one more. ISA Texas, that referendum has been approved. I have a written approval from DOS, so that seems like that will be proceeding. So if we want, so I will be reaching out to the BPLC as well as other important stakeholders such as the DSA and other groups to ensure if this is something that they still want to happen. So yeah, that's all the updates I have. I am determined to deliver as everyone else is here. That's my new slogan right now. All right, next slide is the report. If you have a representative shout out, please fill that out. And if you have any anonymous feedback, please also fill that out. There is no one to shout out this week. So there's no one, there's no one. So I'll shout out Braxton, congratulations for being former speaker for the gavel and everything. Please fill out the anonymous feedback, if not for me, for any of the chairs too. Feedback is always encouraging and important, so let us know how we're doing. Next slide. These are your mental health resources. Please use them if you need them. I'll give you a second. Okay. Any announcements? Rep.
Real quick, just an announcement, the budget request I made for the night caps came in, we are delivering those this week, so it's really exciting. So that project is completed.
Any other announcements? Communication Director Glee.
Hi, I also forgot to say that we hit officially 4,000 followers on Instagram, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, our social media is at like 158, so I think 158. So please follow us. Huh?
158K.
No, 158. So let's get to 200. Let's get to 200. All right. Vice President Acosta.
Just the last one, the Climate Equity Roundtable is this Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. WCP 3.116. Please come out. It's with the Environmental Justice Collective and Students Fighting Climate Change. Thank you.
All right, next slide. Oh, any other announcements I'm missing? Nope, next slide. All right, second roll call. Please fill this out. Reps only. Also, if you are a committee chair after we adjourn, please stay. Whilst I have you here, also representative, so that you are aware, probably by the end of the month, we're going to do our 116th Assembly photo. So more on that soon, but would like to get a photo with everyone since we never got that. Any objections to me closing the attendance form? No? All right. That's fine. All right. The chair recommends a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're adjourned. I'll see you next week. Committee chair stay behind.